Hello, and welcome to Super English Talks. This is the channel that helps you improve your English while learning something useful, interesting, and practical at the same time. I'm really happy that you're here with me today. My name is Jara, and in this podcast, I speak slowly and clearly so that English learners like you can practice listening, speaking, and understanding in a fun and easy way. On this podcast, we talk about many different topics that not only help you learn English, but also help you learn new ideas and life skills that you can use every day. The goal of this podcast is simple: to help you build your English skills and your confidence, one episode at a time. So, if you want to grow your vocabulary, improve your listening, and learn something useful for real life, then you are definitely in the right place. Today's topic, the 2-minute rule. Today, we are going to talk about something very small, but also very powerful. It's called the 2-minute rule. Maybe you've heard about it before, or maybe this is your first time. Don't worry, I will explain everything step by step in simple English. The 2-minute rule is an idea that helps you stop procrastinating. Now, what does procrastinating mean? It means waiting too long to do something, delaying a task because you don't feel like doing it right now. We all do it sometimes. For example, maybe you procrastinate with cleaning your room, doing homework, writing an essay, studying for a test, or replying to a message. It happens to everyone. But the good news is the 2-minute rule can really help. In this episode, you will learn what the 2-minute rule is, why it works so well, how it can help you start tasks more easily, feel less stress, and slowly build better habits in your life. I'll also give you real examples so you can understand how to use it at home, at work, and even while learning English. And don't worry, everything will be explained in simple, clear language so you can follow along easily. By the end of this episode, you will have 2 easy ways to use the 2-minute rule in your daily life. You'll also understand how just 2 minutes can help you make real changes, little by little. So stay with me, and let's explore this powerful idea together. Are you ready? Great! Let's begin. What is the 2-minute rule? The 2-minute rule is a simple but powerful idea that helps you take action quickly. It's like a small trick you can use to stop waiting and start doing. The idea is this: if something takes less than 2 minutes to do, then do it right away. That's it. It sounds very easy, and that's why it works so well. You don't need a lot of time. You don't need a lot of energy. You just need 2 minutes, or even less. For example, if it takes 2 minutes to wash your cup, just wash it now. If it takes 2 minutes to send a short message, do it now. If it takes 2 minutes to fold a shirt, do it now. When you do these small things immediately, you stop tasks from piling up. You feel more organized, less stressed, and more in control. The second part of the 2-minute rule. There's another way to use this rule, and it's also very interesting. When you want to start a new habit, make the first step so easy that it takes only 2 minutes. For example, if you want to start reading more books, don't say, "I have to read for 1 hour." That sounds hard, and you might never start. Instead, say, "I will read 1 page." That takes less than 2 minutes. If you want to start exercising, don't say, "I will run for 30 minutes." Instead, say, "I will put on my running shoes." That takes 2 minutes, and once you start, you often keep going. That's the secret. The hardest part is not doing the task. The hardest part is starting the task. And the 2-minute rule helps you start. Where did this idea come from? The 2-minute rule became popular because of a man named James Clear. He is the author of a very famous book called Atomic Habits. In his book, he explains how to build good habits and break bad ones. His main message is that small changes can lead to big results over time. He says that good habits are not about doing big things once. They're about doing small things again and again until they become part of your everyday life. James Clear writes that when a habit feels too big, we don't start it. We wait. We feel tired. We say, "I'll do it later." But if we make the habit very small, just 2 minutes, we feel ready to begin. And once we begin, it becomes easier to continue. So, the 2-minute rule is not just about doing small tasks quickly. It's also a smart way to build new habits and change your behavior slowly but surely. Simple examples of the 2-minute rule. Here are a few easy examples you can try today. At home, make your bed right after you wake up. Wash your cup or plate right after eating. Put your clothes in the laundry basket instead of leaving them on the chair. At work or school, reply to a short email immediately. Organize one folder on your desk. Write one sentence of your report. For learning English, listen to an English podcast for just 2 minutes. Read one short paragraph of an article. Learn one new English word today. These are all small, easy actions. But when you do them every day, they help you make big progress over time. Final thoughts. The 2-minute rule may seem small, but it can truly change your life. It helps you start things instead of waiting. It helps you feel more productive and confident. And it helps you slowly build habits that make your days easier and happier. Remember, you don't need to do everything at once. You just need to start small. Start with 2 minutes. Because big success begins with small actions. The 2-minute rule. Simple examples. Imagine this. You come home after a long day. You take off your shoes, but instead of putting them away, you leave them in the middle of the floor. You think, "I'll put them away later." But wait, that job takes only 10 seconds. If you use the 2-minute rule, you will say to yourself, "This takes less than 2 minutes. I'll do it now." And just like that, it's done. No stress. No mess. No thinking about it later. Here's another example. After dinner, your plate is still on the table. Washing one plate takes less than 2 minutes. Instead of leaving it in the sink and telling yourself you'll do it later, you can say, "It's quick. I'll do it now." That small action makes your home cleaner, your mind calmer, and your future easier. Let's try one more example, this time with learning English. Maybe you want to improve your vocabulary. You think, "I should study for 1 hour every day." But that sounds hard, right? So you don't start. Instead, use the 2-minute rule. Say, "I'll just learn one new word right now." That takes less than 2 minutes. And something interesting happens. After you learn one word, you might feel like learning 2 or 5. That's how it begins. A small start becomes something bigger. You can use the same idea for other goals too. Write just one sentence in your journal. Do just one push-up. Open your notebook. Prepare your study space. Each of these things takes only a moment, but they all help you move forward. And remember, moving forward, even just a little, is always better than standing still. A quick summary. So, to summarize this part, the 2-minute rule has 2 main ideas. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, do it right away. If you want to build a new habit, start with just the first 2 minutes. These ideas come from James Clear's famous book Atomic Habits. They work because they make action feel easy and stress-free. In the next part, we'll talk about why this simple rule works so well, and what happens inside your brain when you take small actions. We'll also learn why starting is the most powerful step you can take. So, stay with me, we're just getting started. Why the 2-minute rule works. Now that you understand what the 2-minute rule is, let's look at why it works so well. Why can doing something for just 2 minutes make such a big difference in your life? It sounds too simple, right? But it really works because of how your brain works. Our brain is always trying to save energy. This is completely natural. A long time ago, humans needed to save energy to survive. Even today, your brain wants to choose the easiest way to do something. So, when your brain sees a big task, like cleaning your whole room, writing a long report, or studying for 2 hours, it says, that looks hard. Maybe later. And that's when procrastination begins. Procrastination means you wait too long to do something, even if it's important. You feel tired before you even start. But here's the truth. The problem is not the task itself. The problem is how big the task feels. When something feels big, your brain says, "That's too much work." And you stop before you begin. But here's the trick. If you make the task small, your brain doesn't get scared. It says, "Oh, that's easy. I can do that." And that's the power of small actions. They help you start. Starting is actually the most important part of any task. Think about it. When you finally begin something, it's usually easier to keep going. For example, maybe you don't feel like exercising. But if you just put on your shoes and go outside, suddenly you feel more ready. You take a few steps and then you say, "Okay, I'll walk for 5 minutes." And before you know it, you've walked for 10 or 20 minutes. But the key was not the long walk. The key was putting on your shoes. That was the first step. It's the same idea with the 2-minute rule. It helps you take that first small step. And that small step often leads to the next step and the next one after that. At first, it may look like nothing. But over time, those small steps grow into something big. That's how real habits are built. One tiny action at a time. Let's talk more about habits. Now, let's talk a little more about habits. A habit is something you do again and again, often without even thinking about it. For example, brushing your teeth is a habit. Checking your phone is a habit. Drinking water when you wake up might also be a habit. Some habits are good, like exercising or reading. Some habits are not so good, like staying up too late or scrolling on your phone for hours. But all habits, good or bad, begin in the same way. They start with one small action that you repeat. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, says something very powerful. All big things come from small beginnings. That means you don't need to do something big or amazing right away. You just need to start small and do it often. And that's exactly why the 2-minute rule works so well. It helps you start in a way that feels easy, not stressful. You don't need to wait for motivation. You don't need to wait for the perfect time. You just need to take a small step right now. Let's take an example. If you want to learn English, you might tell yourself, "I'll study for 3 hours this weekend." But that feels like a big job, doesn't it? It feels heavy, and maybe you'll end up not doing it at all. Instead, use the 2-minute rule. Say, "I'll open my textbook. I'll listen to one short podcast episode. I'll learn just one new word. I'll watch one short English video." Each of these takes only a couple of minutes. But if you do them every day, they slowly become a habit. And that habit helps you grow and improve, little by little. Habits are like seeds. Here's another way to think about it. Imagine you are planting a small seed. It's tiny, almost invisible. You put it in the soil and water it. At first, nothing happens. You look every day and think, "Did it grow yet?" But still, it looks the same. Then, after a while, something changes. A small green sprout appears. You keep watering it, and it grows a little more each day. One day, it becomes a beautiful plant. Later, it becomes a strong tree. Habits work exactly the same way. You don't see results on day one. You might not even see them in the first week. But if you keep going, Even just a little bit every day, something strong and powerful begins to grow inside you. That's the power of small, consistent actions. The 2-minute rule builds confidence. The 2-minute rule doesn't just help you start tasks, it also helps you build confidence. When you finish a small task, you feel good. You feel proud of yourself. That positive feeling tells your brain, I can do this. And the next time, it becomes even easier to begin. This is how habits grow stronger. You start small, you keep going, and you build trust in yourself. So remember this simple truth. Small actions lead to big results. Why the 2-minute rule works. The 2-minute rule works because it makes things feel simple, not scary. It removes the feeling of pressure. It helps you begin. And beginning, even if it's small, is always better than doing nothing. Even if you only have 2 minutes today, that's completely okay. You're still training your brain to take action. You're building the habit of starting. And once you start, anything is possible. 2 ways to use the 2-minute rule. Now that you understand why the 2-minute rule works so well, let's talk about how you can actually use it in your daily life. There are 2 main ways to use this rule, and both are very simple. These 2 methods can help you become more productive, feel more organized, and slowly build new habits over time. You don't need anything special, just 2 minutes and a little bit of attention. The first way to use the 2-minute rule is this. If something takes less than 2 minutes, do it now. This method is great for small tasks, the little things we often ignore. These are the things we think we'll do later, but then we forget. They don't take much time, but if we leave too many of them undone, they start to build up. And when they build up, our day feels heavy and stressful. Let's look at a few examples. Example 1. You come home from work, take off your clothes, and drop them on the chair. You tell yourself, I'll put them in the laundry later. But that job takes less than 2 minutes. If you do it right away, your space stays clean and your mind feels lighter. Example 2. You receive a short email from a friend or your teacher. It only needs a quick reply, maybe 1 or 2 sentences. Instead of waiting hours or even days, just reply now. It's done. You don't have to think about it again. Example 3. You finish your coffee and your cup is sitting on the table. Washing it takes less than 2 minutes. If you wash it now, your kitchen stays tidy and your mind feels calm. Each of these examples is small, but together, they make your life easier and lighter. They remove little bits of stress that can pile up during the day. And that's the beauty of the 2-minute rule. It helps you act quickly, easily, and peacefully. The second way to use the 2-minute rule. Earlier, we talked about the first way to use the 2-minute rule. If something takes less than 2 minutes, do it right away. Now, let's look at the second way to use this powerful idea. This method is a little different, but just as helpful. It's for when you want to start a new habit. And the rule is very simple. When you want to build a new habit, make the first step so easy that it only takes 2 minutes. This method is perfect for times when you want to do something good for yourself. Maybe you want to read more, study English, or exercise. But you feel too tired, too busy, or just not motivated. That happens to all of us. Our brains don't like big, difficult tasks. When something feels too big, we want to wait. We say, I'll do it tomorrow. Let's look at an example. Maybe you want to start reading more books in English. That's a great goal, right? But if you tell yourself, I should read for 30 minutes every day, it might feel too hard. You might feel lazy or distracted when it's time to read. So instead, use the 2-minute rule. Tell yourself, I'll just read for 2 minutes. I'll open my book and read 1 page. That's it. That's your small, simple start. Now, here's the interesting part. After reading one page, you might think, okay, I'll read one more, then maybe another. And suddenly, without even planning it, you're reading for 10 or 15 minutes. But even if you stop after 2 minutes, that's still success. You followed the rule. You took action. You built the habit of showing up. This trick works because it helps your brain do the hardest thing, starting. Once you start, your brain says, hey, this isn't so bad. And continuing becomes much easier. That's why this method is so powerful. You're not trying to do something big. You're just trying to start. And when you start again and again, that small action becomes a real habit. More examples. Let's look at a few more examples to help you use this rule in your own life. Example 1. Exercise. Maybe you want to get fit or move your body more often. Don't say, I need to go to the gym for 1 hour. That sounds too big and your brain will resist. Instead, say, I'll do 1 push-up. Or, I'll stretch for 2 minutes. That's easy. You can do that. And once you start, you might feel like doing a few more push-ups or stretching a bit longer. Example 2. Writing. Maybe you want to write every day a journal, a story, or even social media posts in English. Don't wait for a big idea or a perfect mood. Just write 1 sentence. That's your 2-minute action. 1 sentence is small, but it's a start. And sometimes, after 1 sentence, more ideas come naturally. Example 3. Learning English vocabulary. Don't try to learn 50 new words in 1 day. That's too much, and you'll quickly feel tired or bored. Instead, learn just 1 new word today. Say it out loud. Use it in a sentence. Think of it during the day. That's enough. And tomorrow, you can learn 1 more. Step by step, word by word, you'll grow your vocabulary and your confidence. The key idea here is this. Don't focus on how much you do. Focus on building the habit of starting. 2 minutes might feel small, but those 2 minutes are training your brain to take action. You're teaching yourself that action is easy, not scary, not heavy, not stressful. And when action feels easy, you'll want to repeat it again and again. That's how real habits are formed. Let's review. So now you know the 2 best ways to use the 2-minute rule. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, do it right now. If you want to build a new habit, make the first step small, just 2 minutes. These 2 simple ideas can completely change how you work, learn, and live. They help you stay calm, organized, and confident. In the next part of this episode, we'll talk about how you can use the 2-minute rule in real-life situations. At home, at work, and even in your English learning routine. So stay with me, because the best part is coming next. You'll see how this small rule can make a big difference in your everyday life. Real-life examples and ideas. Now that you understand what the 2-minute rule is and how it works, let's look at some real-life examples. These are everyday situations where you can start using this rule right away. You don't need to change your whole routine. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to take small actions that take 2 minutes or less. If you try this rule in little moments of your day, you'll start to see how powerful it really is. Using the 2-minute rule at home. Let's begin with some simple examples at home, because home is the best place to start. Imagine this. You just finished eating and your plate is still on the table. Washing 1 plate takes less than 2 minutes. So instead of leaving it in the sink, just wash it right away. It's done. Now your kitchen looks clean and you feel calm. Or think about your shoes. When you come home and leave your shoes in the middle of the room looks messy. But if you take 2 minutes to put them in their place, your space feels tidy and peaceful. Another great example. Make your bed in the morning. It takes less than 2 minutes, but it gives you a small feeling of success to start your day. That little action tells your brain, I'm someone who finishes things. And that positive feeling stays with you all day long. So, at home, the 2-minute rule helps you keep things clean, organized, and calm, without stress or pressure. Using the 2-minute rule at work. Now, let's talk about your work life. At work, there are so many small tasks we often delay. Not because they are hard, but because we're busy or tired. For example, replying to a short email, sending a quick message to a coworker, writing a reminder in your calendar. Each of these things takes less than 2 minutes, but when we ignore them, they pile up. They stay in our minds and create stress. So, if something at work takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. You'll feel lighter and more organized. Your to-do list will get shorter, and you'll have more energy for bigger, more important tasks. The more small things you finish right away, the more mental space you create in your day. And with that space, you can focus, think clearly, and feel more in control of your time. Using the 2-minute rule for studying. Now, let's look at how this rule can help you with studying. Studying can often feel like a big, heavy task. When you think, I have to study for 2 hours, your brain says, not now, maybe later. That's why we often avoid studying. But the 2-minute rule can help. Instead of saying, I will study for 2 hours, say, I will open my notebook and review 1 page. That takes less than 2 minutes. Or, I will clean my desk, take out my book, and open my pen. That's it, you're ready. Those small actions help you begin. And once you start, you might feel ready to keep going. But even if you stop after 2 minutes, that's okay. You did something. You took action. And that's already a success. Using the 2-minute rule for English learning. Now let's talk about something very special, your English learning. You don't always have time for a long English lesson. That's okay. You can still make progress with small steps. Here are a few simple ideas. Open your favorite English app and learn 1 new word. Listen to this podcast for just 2 minutes. Write 1 sentence in your English journal. Say 1 sentence out loud, like, today is a sunny day, and practice your pronunciation. That's it. These small actions keep your brain connected to English every day. And little by little, those 2-minute moments build a powerful habit. What matters is not how much time you spend. What matters is that you do something every day. The power of small steps. This is the heart of the 2-minute rule. When you take small steps every day, you create something called momentum. Momentum means that 1 small action leads to another, and then another. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill. It starts small, but as it keeps rolling, it gets bigger and faster. That's how habits grow. That's how change happens. What you can do today. So, what can you do today? Take a moment and think. Is there a small task you've been avoiding? Something that takes just 2 minutes or less? Maybe washing a cup, replying to a message, or putting something away. Or is there a new habit you want to build? Like reading, writing, exercising, or learning English. Don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait for motivation. Just take 1 small step right now. Next time you think, I don't feel like doing this, ask yourself, can I do it in 2 minutes? If the answer is yes, do it now. And if the task is too big, ask, what's the first 2-minute step I can take? Then take that step. That's how habits begin, small, simple, and easy. Try it today. I encourage you to try the 2-minute rule today. Just once. Pick something small. Take action. You'll see how good it feels to start. And tomorrow, try it again. Over time, these small actions will help you feel more focused, more organized, and more confident. both in your life and in your English learning. That's how the 2-minute rule can truly change your life. It all begins with one tiny step. A step that takes just 2 minutes. How the 2-minute rule can change your life. So now, let's talk about the big question. How can such a small rule actually change your life? At first, it might sound hard to believe. After all, 2 minutes is not a long time. How can something so small really make a difference? But the truth is, when you use the 2-minute rule again and again, it starts to create real change in your life. That's because the most powerful results in life don't usually come from big, one-time actions. They come from small actions that you do again and again. Every day, without stress, without pressure. That's called consistency. Doing something regularly, even if it's just a little bit. The power of small, consistent actions. Think about brushing your teeth. It only takes 2 minutes, right? But you do it every single day. And because of that small daily action, your teeth stay clean and healthy. You don't wait for motivation to brush your teeth. You just do it because it's a habit. That's the same power behind the 2-minute rule. It helps you build more of these small, healthy routines in your life. You start to clean more often, write more, move your body more, and maybe even practice your English more. All because you take small steps that feel easy. Beating procrastination. The 2-minute rule also helps you fight something that everyone struggles with: procrastination. Procrastination means delaying things even when you know you should do them. It makes you feel guilty, lazy, and sometimes even stressed. You keep thinking about the task, but you never start. But when you tell yourself, "I'll just do 2 minutes," something changes. You give your brain a reason to start. And once you start, the task feels easier. Most of the time, you'll do more than 2 minutes. But even if you stop, you've already done something. And doing something is always better than doing nothing. Acting without motivation. The 2-minute rule also helps on days when you don't feel motivated. Many people wait for the perfect time, the perfect mood, the perfect energy, the perfect situation. But motivation doesn't always come. Some days you feel lazy. Some days you feel tired or busy. That's why this rule is so helpful. It gives you a simple way to take action even when you don't feel ready. You don't need motivation. You don't need to do something big. You just need to do something small right now. When you do this again and again, you build something stronger than motivation. You build discipline. The ability to do what matters, even when you don't feel like it. Discipline grows with small actions. And discipline is what leads to real change. A calmer, more organized life. As you practice this rule, you'll start to notice changes in your daily life. Your room will stay cleaner. Your work will be more complete. Your goals will feel closer and easier to reach. You won't have to carry so many unfinished tasks in your head. And that gives you peace of mind. You'll feel more in control of your day and less overwhelmed by everything you need to do. Many people say that after using the 2-minute rule for just 1 week, they already feel less stress and more calm. A rule you can use anywhere. Another reason this rule is so powerful is because it's so flexible. You can use it in almost every part of your life. You can use it to build good habits, like reading, meditating, or exercising. You can use it to break bad habits, like leaving dishes in the sink, or wasting time on your phone. You can even use it to improve your relationships. Take 2 minutes to send a kind message to someone, to say thank you, or to really listen during a short conversation. Small things, when done with care, can have a big impact, not just on your life, but on the lives of others too. The real secret: just start. Most importantly, The 2-minute rule teaches you something truly powerful. You don't have to do everything at once. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to wait for the perfect day. You just need to start. That's the real secret. Starting is what leads to progress. And progress, even slow progress, will take you further than waiting for the perfect time. So yes, this small, simple rule can change your life. Not in one day, not in 1 week, but slowly, quietly, and surely. Every time you follow it, you become a little more focused, a little more organized, and a little more confident. And all those little changes add up. Over time, they become the life you want. So the next time you think, I'll do it later, remember the 2-minute rule. Take a small step now, because small steps done often can lead to something truly big, benefits you will see. So now you know what the 2-minute rule is, how it works, and how to use it. But let's stop for a moment and think about something very important. What will happen when you actually start using it? What will you feel? What will you see in your life if you follow the 2-minute rule every day? Let's look at some of the amazing benefits you will notice once you make this small rule a part of your daily life. 1. You will feel less stress. The first thing you'll notice is that you feel less stress. Many people feel stressed because they have so many little things to do. Dishes to wash, clothes to fold, emails to answer, or notes to review. Even when these tasks are small, they stay in your mind if you don't do them. You keep thinking about them again and again. I still need to do that. I should do that later. And that makes your brain tired, even if you haven't done anything yet. But when you use the 2-minute rule, you break this cycle. You handle those small tasks right away. You finish them before they pile up. Each time you do a little thing, like washing one plate, replying to one message, or putting away your shoes, your brain feels lighter. Your space looks cleaner. Your day feels calmer. You don't have to carry all those little to-dos in your head anymore. And that gives you a real sense of relief and peace. 2. You will get more things done. The second benefit is that you become more productive. Many people believe that being productive means doing big, difficult tasks. But in reality, it's the small tasks that often slow us down the most. When you complete those small things quickly, in just 2 minutes, you start to see real progress. You check things off your list. You feel more active and organized. And because you're not wasting time thinking about what you should do, you actually do it. These little wins give you energy. It's like cleaning a small corner of your room. Once that part is clean, you feel like cleaning more. Bit by bit, your productivity grows. You may even surprise yourself at how much you can finish when you simply begin with 2 minutes. 3. You will build better habits. The third benefit is that you start to build better habits. And that's one of the biggest reasons why this rule is so powerful. When you do something small every day, it slowly becomes part of your routine. You don't have to force yourself anymore. It starts to feel natural, almost automatic. For example, if you practice English for just 2 minutes every day, soon it will feel normal to do it without thinking. And once it feels normal, you'll often keep going. Maybe for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or even 30 minutes. The same thing happens with any habit. Reading, exercising, writing, cooking healthy food. It all starts with a small, easy step. A habit is like a seed. You plant it today with a tiny action. And with time, it grows into something strong and beautiful. 4. You will feel more confident. The last big benefit is confidence. Confidence doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from taking action, from proving to yourself that you can do something, even if it's small. Every time you follow the 2-minute rule, you show yourself that you are capable. You finish a task. You take the first step. You move forward. Each of these small actions builds trust in yourself. You start to think, I can do this. I can handle my day. That quiet feeling of success grows over time. It doesn't just make you more confident in your work or studies. It makes you feel stronger in every part of your life. You begin to believe that you can take control, even when you're busy, tired, or not motivated. And that belief, that quiet self-confidence, can truly change everything. Let's review the benefits. Let's take a quick look at all the benefits again. You feel less stress because you stop carrying small tasks in your mind. You get more done because you stop waiting and start acting. You build better habits because you repeat small actions every day. You feel more confident because you see yourself making real progress. These are simple changes, but they have a big effect. And the best part? You don't have to wait to see these results. You can start feeling these benefits today. All it takes is 2 minutes. Tips to practice the 2-minute rule every day. Now that you understand what the 2-minute rule is and the benefits it brings, you might be wondering, how can I actually use this rule every day? How can I turn this simple idea into a real habit that helps me in my life? The good news is it's easy to do. You don't need a big plan or special tools. You just need a few simple tips to make the 2-minute rule part of your daily routine. Let's go through them one by one. 1. Start with one small task. When you begin, don't try to change everything at once. It's better to start small. Pick just one simple task to practice the rule on. For example, wash one plate right after you eat. Read one page of a book in English every day. Write one short sentence in your journal. That's it. When you focus on one thing, it's easier to remember and easier to do. Once that small action becomes a habit, you can add another one later. Think of it like learning to walk before you run. The key is to start small but stay consistent. Remember the saying, slow and steady wins the race. Every little step counts. 2. Set a timer for 2 minutes. Sometimes when we say, I'll just do this for 2 minutes, we don't really know how long that is. That's why it helps to use a timer. You can use the timer on your phone, your watch, or even a small kitchen timer. When you start a task, set the timer for 2 minutes and tell yourself, I will do this until the timer rings. This small action helps you focus. It keeps you from getting distracted or giving up too soon. When the timer rings, you can stop if you want to. You've already followed the rule. Or you may feel motivated to continue a bit longer. Both are great outcomes. The goal is not how long you work. The goal is that you start. 3. Keep a habit tracker. A habit tracker is a simple but powerful tool to help you see your progress. It can be a notebook, a calendar, or even an app on your phone. Here's how to use it. Every day you follow the 2-minute rule. Put a check mark, a dot, or a sticker on your tracker. This small mark shows that you did it. When you look at your tracker after a few days, you'll see a growing line of success day after day. That visual reminder can be very motivating. It shows you that your effort is adding up. You might think, wow, I've already done this for 5 days in a row. I can keep going. If you don't have a habit tracker yet, try starting one today. It only takes a minute, and it really helps you stay consistent. 4. Don't break the chain. This tip is simple but powerful. Once you start practicing the 2-minute rule every day, try not to break the chain. Each time you complete your 2-minute task, you add another link to your chain of success. The longer your chain gets, the stronger your habit becomes. You'll feel proud when you see your streak growing day by day. Of course, life happens. If you miss a day, that's okay. Don't feel bad or guilty. Just start again the next day and build a new chain. The important thing is not to quit. Keep moving forward, one small step at a time. Bringing it all together. These 4 simple tips. Start with one small task. Set a timer for 2 minutes. Keep a habit tracker. Don't break the chain. Will help you make the 2-minute rule a real part of your daily life. They make practicing this rule easier, more fun, and more effective. And when you use it regularly, you'll start to feel all the benefits we talked about earlier. Less stress, more productivity, stronger habits, and greater confidence. Remember, the 2-minute rule is about progress, not perfection. It's okay if some days you only do 2 minutes and nothing more. It's okay if you forget one day. What matters most is that you keep coming back. Every small action adds up over time. These little steps build a better routine, a better life, and even better English skills. So why not start right now? Pick one small thing you want to do. Set a timer for 2 minutes. Do the task. Mark it on your tracker. And keep the chain going. You'll be amazed at how much you can accomplish. Just 2 minutes at a time. Thank you so much for staying with me until the end of this episode. Before we finish, I want to share something important with you, something that can truly change the way you think about habits, motivation, and success. Many times, when we want to improve our lives, we think we have to do something big, something difficult, or something perfect. We imagine huge changes, studying for hours, exercising every day, cleaning the whole house, or finishing a big project in one go. But the truth is, that's not how real change usually happens. Real change begins with small steps. Even the smallest action can start a big transformation. And that's exactly why the 2-minute rule is so powerful. When you take just 2 minutes to do something, even something small, you start a chain reaction. You begin to build good habits, little by little. Each time you follow the rule, you send a message to yourself. I can take action. I can do something right now. That's how success begins, not with big, scary steps, but with small, easy ones that you repeat every day. So always remember this. Small steps matter. They are not a waste of time. They are the foundation of every big goal you want to reach. Now, I want to encourage you to try the 2-minute rule today, not tomorrow, not next week, but today. Look around you right now. What is one small thing you can do in just 2 minutes? Maybe it's cleaning your desk, washing one dish, reading one page of an English book, writing one short sentence, or even stretching your body and relaxing for a moment. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to finish everything. The goal is simply to start. When you start, you'll notice something amazing. You'll feel good. You'll feel proud that you took action, even if it was small. That feeling gives you motivation to keep going, to do a little more, and to come back again tomorrow. Starting is always the hardest part. But once you take that first small step, everything becomes easier. You build momentum, and momentum is what helps you keep moving forward. So, make a promise to yourself right now. You will use the 2-minute rule every day, starting today. Remember, life is not about doing everything at once. It's about doing a little bit every day. If you spend just 2 minutes today, 2 minutes tomorrow, and 2 minutes the next day, you will create a strong, lasting habit over time. Each small action adds up. 2 minutes may seem tiny, but together, those minutes become hours, days, and weeks of progress. That's how you reach your goals, one small step at a time. Whether your goal is to learn English, exercise more, clean your space, or simply stay organized, the 2-minute rule can help you get there. It takes away the pressure. It helps you avoid feeling tired, lazy, or overwhelmed. Because when you start small, everything feels easier and more enjoyable too. Be kind to yourself. Don't expect perfection. Celebrate each small action you take. Each one is a victory. And remember this beautiful truth. Small steps lead to big changes. Every tiny action you take moves you closer to the life you want. You are not alone. Many people around the world are starting small, growing little by little, and changing their lives every day. You can do the same. You have the power to change your habits, your mindset, and your life, all starting with just 2 minutes. So believe in yourself. Start today. Take one small step. And keep going. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope you try the 2-minute rule and make it part of your daily life. And remember, big journeys always begin with small steps. Keep moving forward, stay consistent, and you will see wonderful changes soon.